Much has been said about how the increasing Hispanic portion of our electorate is going to give Democrats a perpetual majority. But a major poll we just did has some pretty compelling evidence that that's no longer the case. And wait till you hear their opinions about illegal immigration. We partnered with Numbers USA to conduct a nationwide poll of Hispanic voters on the eve of election night. It's a publicly sponsored poll, and you can go grab the crosstabs yourself and follow along, even if you're not a paid subscriber. Now, this was done as a subset of a much larger poll to be released soon, but as such, it isn't quite as large as our normal polling. But as you'll see, the signals are so strong here that the margin of error doesn't even really matter. The poll was compiled of self-identified midterm voters and weighted by gender, age, party, and whether an individual identified primarily as Hispanic or as another race. We also normalized the poll based on respondents' 2020 presidential vote, which was reported by Pew to be 37% for Trump. And this is how they said they voted this election. Democrats had a 10-point advantage in congressional and Senate races, though a much higher lead among governor races for some reason. But Republicans picked up 40% of the vote, higher than Trump's portion of the vote just 2 years ago, and meaning that Republican candidates besides Trump are breaking through and making gains among Hispanic voters. If you dig into the crosstabs, you'll also see that Republican candidates have nearly a 20-point lead among independents. But it isn't just Republican candidates. Trump gains big also, picking up 5 more points of support in the last 2 years, while Biden loses a whopping 9 points. Now, of course, if the election were held today, Biden would regain most of what he lost, but we're talking something that would look more like a 6-point race among Hispanics when it was reported to be a 15-point Biden lead in 2020. Among Hispanic independents, Trump dominates by a ridiculous 40 points. Go check it out yourself. Now, once again, astute poll followers would be wise to mention the margin of error for this poll, but keep in mind, we're talking about relative movements among a sample set that was calibrated to the 2020 outcome. These movements are among people who actually told us they voted for Biden in 2020 and now support Trump and Republicans to a larger degree. In fact, 18% of the respondents who said they'd vote for Trump today were Biden supporters in 2020. Okay, now it gets interesting. I think in political circles, there's a habit to think lenient immigration policies are what's driving Hispanic voters. The reality couldn't be more different. 68% say immigration as an issue was in their top 3, and 21% do say it was their top issue. But check this out. 56% to 32% Hispanic voters favor policies that prevent illegal border crossings and illegal immigrants from getting U.S. jobs. And among independent Hispanics, it's 57% to 27%. Even a plurality of Democrats say they want to prevent illegal immigration. A plurality of Hispanic voters also favor reduced overall levels of legal immigration. Also, Biden gets horrible marks on his handling of illegal immigration. These are rock bottom numbers, and he's basically getting about 1/3 of voters giving him excellent or good, and probably a strong overlap with the 1/3 of respondents who want increased illegal immigration. But Biden only gets 14% excellent and good among independent Hispanics and 42% among Democrats. That's bad. And here's another shocker. 57% of the Hispanic voters said the government is doing too little to prevent illegal border crossings, and only 16% say too much. Those numbers are shockingly similar to when we ask everybody at a national level, meaning Hispanic voters are just as likely as anyone else in the country to want tougher action at the border. So there's a lot more packed into these crosstabs. You should seriously go download them yourself. Things like 65% of Hispanic voters think physical border barriers are important. Hispanic voters want employers to use E-Verify by a 64 to 25% margin. And 62% of Hispanic voters want legal immigration at a level lower than it is now, and only 13% want it higher. Thanks for following along. If you uncover anything interesting in the crosstabs that we missed, or want to see any new data points crossed together, drop a comment, and as always, please subscribe to our channel. It's free for you, and it helps us get the word out about true public opinion in America. Thank you.